Thank you, everybody, to all the students that are just joining. We're giving everybody else just a minute more to get onto the webinar. I think we're probably ready to start. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Okay. This is for the Delaware Launch into Your Future Month Common App Student Session. Pass it over to Jamia.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for a session this evening. My name is Jamia Tenney, and I am from the Common App. I serve as Principal of Learner Experiences. In short form, I work each day to create resources and opportunities for students to have a seamless process as they navigate our Common App system and largely the college admissions process. So tonight, we'll do a few things related to the Common App. We'll talk about the Common App and its platform and its resources, and we'll go from there. I'm going to share my screen and we'll jump into a little bit more detail. And let's go. So I want to give a brief overview of the Common App, but before I kind of delve into that, I just want to make sure I highlight a couple of things that we'll talk about tonight. We'll talk about the application platform and the contents thereof. We'll also hit a little bit on finding your fit and what that looks like. Give you some tips on some essay writing as you are, I'm sure, knee deep, as they say, into the application process, meaning you are stacked with your college applications. And so we want to make sure we give you some tips for that. And then we'll talk about some other resources into other parts of the application. Of course, we'll have time for questions at the end. So if you have questions, feel free to place them in the chat to the panelists and they'll be able to gather those and we'll take care of those at the end of the presentation. So let's jump in. For an overview of Common App, if you're not aware of who we are and the contents of by which we operate, Common App is an online application platform, and we just seek one simple thing. We want to make applying to college easy. Each year, over 1 million students use our platform to apply to colleges. We have over 1,100 colleges and universities around the world, literally, that are members of our organization that students can apply to. A third of those students are the first in their families to go to college. And so one of our key missions is to make sure that we're also creating a space where low and medium income students constantly feel like that they have a host of opportunities to apply to college as well. Here's a little snapshot into who we are in our membership. Again, we have over 11 colleges and universities around the world coming from 15 countries and territories outside of the US. Over 60 of those 1,100 members are international members. 50 the other members come from 50 states, US states, DC, and Puerto Rico. A couple of things I like to also highlight here on the screen. 350 plus of those colleges are public institutions, meaning they're state-supported institutions right in the states along the United States of America. As well as 600 plus of those members don't require an application fee. So it's important to note that one of the ways of making applying to college easy is taking the barrier of the application fee away from a large amount of those colleges. Our members are offering affordable ways to apply to college. And for those colleges who may require application fee, I'll talk about in just a minute what our application fee waiver is. As we delve into our decision types, one of the things I want to make sure that we highlight is there are three different decision types that you're going to see inside of this particular application platform. First is our early action. Early action means that you'll receive an early response to your application, but you don't have to respond until the traditional deadline around May 1st. So you may see colleges have one early action deadline, maybe two. They may be tied to some scholarship opportunities that they offer, but you will see that particular decision type amongst a large number of the colleges. The second decision type is early decision. This is the only binding decision type that's going to be inside the application. Meaning, if you're choosing to apply to a college via early decision, you're essentially saying to that college, hey, if I apply to this college and I am subsequently admitted to the college, then I am committing to attend. And then the last decision type is regular decision, and that's a non-binding agreement as well. So early action and early decision are both non-binding. And they mean you don't have to attend that institution. And those response deadlines, of course, they will vary there. One thing I like to note on regular decision, sometimes colleges and universities will use this deadline for a space available deadline. So you want to make sure that you're choosing the adequate decision type that represents your interest in this college. So if you're highly interested, you may want to choose the early action or early decision, or you may want to choose regular decision depending upon your interest level. So going to our website, how do you apply? You can log on to our website, commonapp.org. In the top right-hand corner, you'll see two marks, either sign in or create an account. So there on the screen, if you already have an account, you'll sign in. But if not, you'll create an account. You'll be creating a first-year student account. You'll fill out some information, and then you'll be able to start accessing. On the left-hand side, I want to also note one thing. You'll see find colleges. Find colleges is our tool. You'll also find this college search inside your account too. So either way, you can access this. You can log into your account and access it through college search. Or if you just want to do an initial search without logging into your account, you can use the Find Colleges tab you'll see there at the top. There you'll be able to search our 1,100 plus members, and then you'll be able to kind of determine what are some ways as we talk about determining what your college list, you're building your college list, determining what types of fit what types of things are impacted into college fit that you're looking for. You can use this college search tool, our Explore Colleges tool, to kind of determine that. What do I mean when I say that? There are several types of questions that you want to ask yourself when you start to think about college fit. We know it as ways in which you are fitting with the university that are just beyond like the name or the popularity of the university. For example, I live in the state of North Carolina. There's lots of popular colleges that you may hear. You may hear the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, commonly known as Carolina. You may hear Duke University. You may hear Wake Forest. You may hear some of the largest HBCUs, North Carolina A&T being one. You may hear other UNC North Carolina, University of North Carolina at Charlotte or Greensboro. There's a host of colleges that are known, but how do you determine if those colleges are the actual fit for you? You ask yourself a series of questions. Hey, do I want to go to a public school or a private institution? Am I looking for a small school? Am I looking for a medium school or large school? That size matters because what type of classroom do I want to sit in? Do I want 100 people inside a class? Or do I want maybe 50 or less? Maybe even a smaller group, maybe 25 or less. Maybe it depends on the type of needs that you have. What specific academic programs do they have? Do they have a program that aligns with my career interests? If I'm interested in being a physical therapist, do they have a kinesiology program or sports science program that would align with where my career path is? Do they offer research, internship, co-op opportunities that will support me? Because we know that you can pursue academic, but you want to match that with internships and co-ops to become competitive in the workforce. Are they offering other special mentorship programs? Where are they located? Are they located in a busy city? Are they located in a very rural town? What am I interested in? So there are lots of questions to ask yourself. Um, and more importantly, financial fit. What is my budget? What have I set down to say, here's what I can afford when I'm looking at where to go to college? And so those are all the types of questions that you want to think about. You can use this particular tool to kind of search those particular and get some of those answers to where colleges are located, if they're public or private, what their enrollment size is, what their campus setting is, if they're specialized mission school, meaning they're historically Black institution or Hispanic serving institution. Whether they offer aid or what types of things that they offer. And so you can see that and research that there. Again, if you're creating an account tonight, if you need to create an account, you can use that QR code to do that. Again, you're going to use first year student. You complete your information, and then you can start the search that I was talking about. You can explore the site, explore the colleges. You'll start to add colleges to your college list once you search those. We also have a mobile app. I'd like to make sure I highlight this. You can get that same streamlined, secure experience that you get in the desktop version. You can also get that in a mobile app. So if you are creating your account, you're logging into your account after it's created, you're going to log in and be open into your dashboard. Your dashboard is going to offer a few things that I want to go over on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll see our menu bar. First, the My Common application. That's the general application for any college applications you're going to complete within the platform. You're going to have to complete the My Common application section. Also, I want to note this. Now, under the My Common application section, we're going to get into this in a minute about essays and recommendation letters. Those requirements are going to vary by the college. So you may not be submitting an essay for a particular college because they might not require it, and they may only require one recommendation or two or none at all. It just depends on that college's requirements. The second is the My Colleges bar. So after you, shortly under that, you see college search. I talked about that. That is the way to access the Explore colleges within your account. Once you explore in those colleges and you click a particular college, you say, hey, I want to choose this college. I'm going to look to apply here. You can click to add that college to your list. That college will then appear on your My Colleges list. And if you look in the middle of the screen, you'll see a My Colleges list here, and you'll see this particular student has added 4 colleges, actually 3 colleges and a scholarship program to their My Colleges list. So they've added Black Hawk College, Morgan State University, University of Delaware, and then they've also added the Jack Kent Cooke Foundation Scholarship Program. I'll talk about scholarships a little later. Also, under college search, you'll see direct admissions, and I'll expand on that, but that's a admissions program where colleges will offer students prior to them applying admittance to their university based on information that they have provided in the My Common application section. As well as under that is the financial aid section. We'll get into that a little later. It talks about scholarship opportunities and support resources. In the middle, you'll see a few things that I want to highlight. You'll see here your My Common application section that it just gives you a highlight on what sections you have completed under your My Common application and what's left to complete. For example, you'll see that this particular student has completed their profile section. They've completed their education, testing, activities, and writing. They still need to complete some information in the family section and in the courses and grades section. And so we want to make sure that we get you on the right path and make sure that you're aware of what's left in your application, and so you can complete it there. And then also under that, I referenced earlier the My Colleges list. And so you'll see 3 colleges there in the scholarship program that tells you that they're in progress. Once you complete, that bar will move and tell you how many colleges on your list, how many you have in progress, how many you have completed. Also, you'll see under there, it's giving you some deadlines. Hey, University of Delaware has a deadline coming up. So we want to make sure that we highlight those things for you. I talked about 600 plus colleges not charging an application fee, but for those colleges that do, we do offer a fee waiver should you have some demonstrated financial need. Some examples of that need are on the screen: ACT, SAT fee waiver, you're part of a free or reduced lunch program, some type of federal, state, or local program like Gear Up, Trio, Avid, Upward Bound, another example. And how you will be able to take care of this, you will go to the financial aid section of your Common App account, and there are some there you would be able to click to say you're eligible, and then of course your school counselor would need to verify that eligibility. Our Common App writing section remains the same. So let's talk about essays a bit. We have the same 7 essay prompts. You'll see personal growth, facing adversity, background, identity, interest, and talent, and the list goes on, as well as the topic of your choice available. And so those essays have a 650 word limit. And that is a part of the application. Again, colleges may or may not require the essay. Also, you may go in and submit one essay for one college under personal growth. Then you may go in and change that out for the next college that you submit, because you're going to submit your common application section for each college. And you may decide to do an intellectual curiosity essay for the next college. It's up to you. Now let's talk about a few things. I'm going to make all the prompts go because I want to make sure I go through this list. A couple of things when you talk about essay planning. Number one, make sure you set aside time. And why is this important? Because you want to make sure that you're planning your writing. You don't want to be crunched against a deadline and you're not presenting the best essay that you could if you had just planned a little bit more and spent some time on the essay. You want to research. As you go into the colleges, for example, you can look at University of Delaware that was on Jenny's list in the last example. You want to make sure you're looking to see if University of Delaware is requiring some additional writing supplements. So they may say, hey, they're requiring a Common App essay, but we also have some additional writing questions that you need to complete, which goes back to setting aside time, because you want to make sure that you have time to not only complete your essay, but also complete any additional writing supplements that they have. Topic, you want to write about something that's important to you. Um, Meaning, how does your unique experience show up in your essay? Colleges are looking to learn more about who you are in your college application. So you want to make sure that any piece of writing that you presented is giving the best version of you, your life, and your experiences, and what value that you're going to bring to that college. You want to use the essay prompts to list your ideas, and I'm talking about resources in just a moment that you can use to kind of plan that. And then also, you want to just have some opportunity where you can just drop ideas, drop thoughts. Again, this goes back to setting aside time, because you want to be able to brain dump your ideas before you kind of put it all together. There are lots of things that come. You may use a story map. There are lots of things that come about that you can use to plan your writing. So when we talk about using the prompts to kind of guide you in your writing, these resources telling your story, we have it in English and a Spanish version on our website. So you can go there and you just click and plan for college, apply for college. Those resources are available. You'll get there. And this talks about how you want to put together your essay, meaning treat the reader in your introduction, make your points, show, don't tell, use vivid details, not just facts. And you want to make sure that your essay is engaging. But on the right-hand side, I want to hone in on thinking about the essay prompts. I talked about the 7 essay prompts that we offer. Under each prompt in this resource, you'll see we talk about what that specific prompt is asking for. For an example, that first example talks about some students have a background, identity, interest, or talent so meaningful that they believe their application would be incomplete without it. If this sounds like you, share your story. And so on the right hand side, you'll see think about, and we give you some things to think about. This is how you can maybe use a story map or a planning map to kind of highlight what are those things that you're thinking about and highlighting those full of bullet points. And then ask yourself what's missing from your application. Is there context that would be within this prompt that would help a colleges again get a better view of who you are and what you can bring to their institution? Just some quick tips as you start your essay planning. Let's talk about the activity section. In our activity section, you can report up to 10 activities. You'll see on the right-hand side, we ask you a various number of pieces of information to give more context into what that activity is, how many years you participated in it, if you held any leadership roles, etc. These activities range from community service to internships if you have a part-time job outside of school, your other volunteering opportunities, clubs that you're in, family responsibilities, and I'm going to go into that in a new question as well. We also introduced this new question that really highlights more of family responsibilities and other circumstances that maybe you don't think that bring value, but these also shape who you are and what value will bring to this institution. So if some of these circumstances or responsibilities kind of line up, you can simply check those responsibilities for colleges, or if they don't, you can just check the none of these options that's available at the bottom of each list. Some examples might be maybe you take care of younger siblings, maybe you take care of a family that may have be disabled or sick, maybe you work to contribute to the family income. Other ways in which you some circumstances that you may want to share with colleges and universities. Of course, you can still self-report your test scores. That's ACT, SAT, APIB, and Cambridge scores, as well as any subject tests. Those are self-reported within the Common Application section. Note, you'll still need to make sure you submit the official scores via the testing agency. I talked about recommendation letters a little bit at the top that colleges may require up to 2 recommendations. They may have specific ones that they ask for, a specific teacher or your counselor or some other recommender that you can ask to, like a coach or a boss or something that may submit a recommendation on your behalf. What you would do is you would determine, unless your college uses something like Naviance or something to do recommendations, then you would, if not, you would do those recommendation requests through the Common App platform. You'll choose the recommender role, and then you will enter that recommender's information, name, email, address, so that you can read, so that the system can reach out to them to complete a recommendation on your behalf. We also have the financial aid tab that I hinted on that's at the bottom, that was at the bottom of that left navigation on your dashboard. Here we have information about financial aid, the 4 major types of financial aid: grants, loans, work study scholarships, as well as information about completing the free application or federal student aid. And then also, I want to note we have a scholarship opportunity. So if you're going into your Common App application section, and you're paying special attention to your profile, completing the education piece, as well as your activity section, you may qualify for some scholarship opportunities. If you do, you'll find that under the Matches tab. You'll see in this particular example, this student, based on the information they submitted, qualified for 2 potential scholarships, and there they can get a link out to those scholarship programs to actually apply. I also talked about direct admissions earlier. Again, as a reminder, this program is offered to extend offers to qualify first generation and low middle income students. Excuse me, let me repeat that. First generation and low and middle income students before they apply. And so these colleges that are participating in that are offering that information based on information, again, that you're submitting in your My Common application section. This year, we have over 225 of our members that are participating in our direct admissions program. Over 65 of them, plus of them, are public institutions. and 100% of them waive the application fee. Others offer other perks like waived essays or recommendation letters, and they also have offers that extend beyond for those public institutions that extend beyond their states. So in your common application section, you would just complete these particular items in your profile, family, education section: cumulative GPA and GPA scale. That common app fee waiver response, again, I talked about that. You would go in and say that you qualify for that. And then, of course, your counselor needs to prove that you do. Parents' education level, as well as your permanent home address. Let's talk about some tools that you can use. On our YouTube page is the most used tools that we have. Common App Media, you'll find a first year walkthrough of our application. So after this session, if you want someone to still delve into the parts of the application, my colleague Amani does that, as well as the activity section, more information about essays, and also some frequently asked questions videos as well. Again, I highlighted this earlier that we have several resources. I highlighted the essay resource, but we have other ones as well to support the other parts of the application, and they're available in English and Spanish. And then we also have our Paying for College page, where you can find out more information about financial aid, scholarships, and those things that I highlighted a little earlier under the financial aid tab. As well as we offer one-to-one virtual mentorship through our U-Strive program, and it's free. And so these particular mentors, they're just there to help support you through the application process. You can follow us on our social media. We are on Facebook, X, Instagram, and YouTube. We're also now on TikTok. We just got a new TikTok account through Common App, and so you can follow us on TikTok as well at Common App. We offer 24/7 support. So if you need assistance with your application, you can submit a ticket, chat with us, all the things, and we can support you in those areas. And I'm going to stop sharing here and take some of your questions. So will you give them to me, or should I just
Yeah,
go
I
through?
can give them to you.
All
Yep.
right. Thank you.
So we had one student that was looking to apply for a scholarship through Common App, but it told them that they had no space, and it was specifically the Jack Cook Scholarship. Do you have any advice for them?
They had no space.
What they said, yes.
I will probably need a little bit more clarity on that. I'm not sure about space. You can apply as long as the deadline is open, but if it's closed, then you wouldn't be able to apply beyond that. But I probably need a little bit more clarity there.
Okay, so if the student that asked that could just, follow up with another question with some more details, and we'll move on to the second question.
Okay.
How do we apply for the honors program at a college? Is that in Common App, or is it after you've been accepted into the college?
Yeah, that's a great question. And that is not through Common App. We currently do not do honors college programs. I always say currently because with Common App, we're doing something new all the time. So maybe in the future we will. But you would apply directly with the institution.
Thank you. Does anybody else have questions that they would like to put into the chat? I guess I should say into the Q&A. So if you're not sure where it is, okay, you can put it into the chat or the Q&A. So this is more clarity for the scholarship. Oh yeah, we do have another one from that as well. Oh, okay, so they had maxed out, so the scholarship, they had 20 colleges, and that's the max you can do, and the spot of the scholarship counts as one of those 20. So if you
I
could
got
spend on
you.
that.
Okay. Yes. Okay. You can reach out to our support team and they'll be able to assist you with creating space to apply for their scholarship. So again, when you go to our Student Solution Center, if you are in your Common App account on the right-hand side, you'll see access to our Student Solution Center. There you can reach out to them and create a ticket and ask them for assistance with creating space for that, and they will assist you with that. Thanks for that
And
clarity.
yeah. So we have another question, and this is around how to record current courses in the Common App. So they go to a school that have semesters, and they want to know if they can just put in a yearly format because their transcript doesn't give them their first marking period or second grades until the second semester. Their counselor told them just to do yearly instead of semesters.
So semesters, meaning you're going to do this first set of classes to maybe December, January, and then you'll have a new set of classes for the remainder of the year, correct?
I am assuming yes. If that is not correct, please just put it in the chat, but I'm pretty sure yes.
You should be able to know semesters because those courses are not yearly. So you should be able to note that there. You shouldn't put in yearly unless you're actually taking those courses all year because there's going to be some gaps missing. Colleges are going to want to see what are you taking the second half so that they know that you meet those minimal course requirements. If you're having a specific challenge with your application, meaning something with yours that you shouldn't have a challenge, then you can reach out to our support team, but you should be able to note that there.
Thank you. So we have a student that is a transfer student in their senior year, and they want to know what your recommendation is of who should they ask to write their recommendation letter from their prior school or the one they're currently at.
Oh, that's a great question, meaning they transferred high schools in their senior year. So you can do either way. That's where the other recommender role is. So for example, if you have a college, not a college, a high school teacher or counselor from the other school, you can invite them as a other recommender and they can complete a recommendation on your letter on your behalf. And also, if you want to use your current school, and you have built a rapport relationship with a teacher or counselor, you can also do both. It just really depends on what route that you want to take.
So our next one, they're getting lots of questions here. This is awesome. So one student wanted to know is when do you apply for work study? Is this through Common App or the FAFSA?
Work study, I think I heard you say, right?
Yes.
You will complete the FAFSA, and there you would note after getting an award letter from that particular college, university, if you're eligible for work study. From there, you would apply through there. So a part of completing that free application for federal student aid is determine your eligibility for different types of aid, which it opened on October 1st, and you should be completing that now. The faster you complete it, the better your opportunities are. And so once you complete that, then colleges will award an award letter, and there you will determine your eligibility, what they're offering in their award letter package to you, whether they're offering a work study opportunity.
Okay, and this is a really good one, one that we get a lot. Do the students upload their transcripts or do their school counselors?
Counselors.
So we have one student who is involved in a lot of activities and they have more than the 10 that Common App would allow. What suggestions do you have, or how to prioritize when a student has more than 10 activities that they could include?
Yeah, you want to determine, this is a great question. I get this quite often, actually. You want to determine what 10 activities best represent your holistic version of who you are. And so, of course, as we go through the course of high school, we all have had beyond 10 opportunities usually that we participated in, but you want to determine what are the best 10 opportunities that will give college the best version of who you are as a person and the contributions that you can make at the institution. That may be your community service activities, there may be clubs that you're a part of, that may be sports. It may also vary per college. An example would be I have 3 colleges on my list. One college, I may send one version of 10 activities, but when I go to apply to the next college, I may revise my activities list and change out based on the college that I'm applying to, their vision, their mission, and maybe I want to submit a different type of activity and submit that. So you're able to make updates as you apply to unique colleges, or you can have the 10 colleges. Now, once you submit one college, you can't go back and fix that application, but you can make updates to your My Common application section prior to submitting to a college.
And kind of a follow-up question with that, that somebody else put in, is putting a foreign exchange with with the school a good thing to put in as an activity?
I think so. I think that's a great opportunity to put in and really share your experiences there. You also may want to consider that as an essay topic to talk about that. Remember, you have a unique background, interest, or a topic of your choice. So you may want to talk about your foreign exchange opportunity.
Here was another. It's more about the transcript. Do we need to ask our school counselor to upload the transcripts before submitting their application?
Yes, you should be requesting that transcript from your college counselor, high school counselor. Um, Sometimes they call them college counselors in high school now too. It's varying titles. High school counselor ASAP. So based on the colleges that you're looking to apply to, yes, you should be requesting that.
One student had a question that they noticed you can only have 20 colleges in progress on the Common App. Once you finish those applications and submit, can you then apply to more?
Our college limit is 20. And this goes back to the conversation I had about college fit. As you start to build your college list, your college list shouldn't really extend past the 20. Oftentimes, you should curate that list and really think about, are there really colleges that really fit? I know colleges may, again, popularity and interest and those types of things, but really think about and do your in-depth research around colleges and universities and what actually works for you, what are your needs are, and how can you curate a list that you are applying to institutions that work best for you. But if there's some direct admissions opportunity or something there and you extend beyond that, you can reach out to our support team to have a conversation about your college list, but we recommend our max of 20. I will say that.
Um, why is the Common App asking for their parents' level of education and when they went to school?
Yeah, so we colleges often ask for they want to determine if you're a first generation student for aid purposes, for reporting purposes, also for scholarship opportunities. And so we're going to be asking for parents' education level. Colleges want to know that information. They need to know that for free application for student federal student aid um, purposes. So there's a lot of ways in which that information is used in your admissions and enrollment processes, and so that's why it's asked.
Thank you. Here's one. If I'm going on an exchange student trip in the summer after I graduate from high school, can I still put that in as an activity? They have been hosting foreign exchange students for the last 4 years, but they haven't had the opportunity themselves to go until the summer after they graduate.
Yeah, you should actually only put completed activities in your activity section, but you can send that to the college directly once you've completed that or share that information with them.
And this one goes back to, again, the family's education level. If their parents had little or no schooling, what would be best to put in for their information?
There's a myriad of options there. You would just answer the question based on the options that are provided. And there's options for all of the different types of experiences that parents or guardians have had.
Um, do the students upload the recommendation letters in Common App?
No, they do not. The recommenders have a different portal account that they will upload those recommendation letters. You won't view those. They will be uploaded directly to the portal, their own portal account, and connect to your applications.
Just looking through my IPA team, please let me know if there's any that I've missed here. As we're looking, if you have more questions, please put them in. Oh, here's one. How do we send a request for someone to upload the letters of recommendation?
Yeah, under the My Common application section, there's a recommender portion. You would determine what role that recommender is, and then you would enter their contact information and they will be contacted from there.
If a parent went to a school or college in a different country and have no usable degrees or education in the US, what should we put for their education?
You should still note that they completed their education. Their education doesn't have to be completed in the United States. We're international application. So please note that their application, their education brings value if they completed it inside the country or out.
And if the college that they attended at an international institution does not show up on the list, what should they do?
But the international institution, you can reach out to our support team for assistance.
And then we did have a question. Yes, a student asked about, does your recommender get an email that the recommendation is requested? They do get an
Yes,
email.
get a notification, yes.
Oh, interesting question. Since college applications end before we graduate, how are their final year transcripts sent?
You will request that final transcript to go to that institution. That is your last step after you graduate. So don't forget that you will need to request your final transcript to be submitted to the college in which you are going to enroll. You're going to apply to several colleges, but you won't send your final, you will send your final transcript only to the one in which you're going to enroll.
And school counselors across the state will work with you. They will do a request typically on Schoology saying, and letting you know, please let them know who to send your final transcripts to. Oh, what section do we send recommendation requests? They missed that. Where on the Common App do they put in their recommenders?
Under the My Common application section, there's a recommender portion there for each college that you attend. Again, did I say my common? I'm sorry, my colleges sections. Please forgive me. I think I keep saying my common application. Mine is a long day. My colleges section, to clarify, under each college, you'll note there, it'll ask you for recommenders. There, you'll submit your recommenders for each application. Want to make sure I clarify that. For each application, you need to submit your recommenders for each one. You're also going to submit your My Common application. You're going to complete the essay requirements. Again, that's supplemental writing requirements if are there. Complete your FERPA release that authorizes us to release your application. So all of that happens under each of those colleges. So under those My Colleges, under your My Colleges list, each of those colleges will have opportunity to recommendation if they require, or if they don't, it won't be there.
One question, it was a follow-up on the transcript. The final transcripts is why can't they send their final transcripts to more than one college?
Yeah, your final transcript really only needs to go to the college that you plan to attend unless you're still in the application process and you're looking to still be reviewed. There's no need to request it to go to multiple colleges at that point, if you've already decided where to attend. And I saw a question about where's FERPA because I realized that the long term and I didn't explain what it is. FERPA is, in short, I won't go through the whole legal term. In short, that is an authorization. We are required to get you to authorize us on each college in order for us to release your information to that particular college. So you'll see under the My Colleges tab, under each college, there is a data release. It's tied to data release essentially. And it is requiring you to authorize us to release your application to that particular college to which you are applying.
We had another question about final transcripts through the Common App. So the final transcripts, they're going to be sent by your high school for you, the school you're attending. And if it is a Common App school, yes, it would go through the Common App. But if it's something like the Delaware Tech that is not on the Common App, then it would be a mailed transcript that your school will provide for you. Any other questions? Give maybe one more minute, okay, to see if anybody else has questions. If you're trying to formulate your answer and you're worried you don't have time, you can just put, I have a question, and we'll wait for you. Oh, one question is, are there any other scholarships on the Common App?
Yeah, so again, if you complete that, you need to go and complete that information that I noted. Your in your profile, your activity section, a myriad of other things, and you can see that there. Once you complete your My Common application section, then you will go to the financial aid section. Should you be eligible for scholarships, under scholarships tab, those matches would be listed there. So there are other opportunities that we connect you to, but it's dependent upon the information that you're providing your My Common application section.
We did have a FAFSA question. Do you want me to field that one since it's not Common
Sure.
App? Okay, so the question was, what's the difference between the FAFSA and the scholarship? Okay, the FAFSA is an application that you and your family fills out that goes through your tax information. And that information is then sent to schools. And schools use that information to determine how much money to give you in need-based grants and scholarships from their institution. It's also used, though, for the state scholarships for the state of Delaware, as well as some other scholarships require it. A scholarship, is money. It's free money to go to school. So that can come from your college themselves, and you'll get that on your financial aid award letter after you've been admitted. They will tell you if you've earned a scholarship by either merit, so that's your grades, athletic, for sports, or for need that was based on your FAFSA that you had financial need to attend. Scholarships outside of institutions are private scholarships. And so those are ones that you would apply for. Before we leave today, I will put in 2 resources. The state of Delaware has free one-on-one FAFSA supports for you and your family, so you can get a one-on-one appointment to complete your FAFSA. We also have the scholarship compendium, which has over 250 local scholarships you can apply for. So I will make sure those links go into the chat as well. Okay, and it looks like we do have a question. Somebody said they had a question, but they were still typing. Any other questions while we see if the one student? Other question? Oh, nope, no questions from him. Anybody else?
Okay, that was the person who said.
Somebody from the IPA team, can you put in the scholarship compendium for me, and I'll put in the FAFSA information? Sorry, I'm just pulling it up. Okay, this is the free FAFSA appointments. And they are virtual. Okay, and then the scholarship compendium is there as well. Questions? Okay, if there are no more questions, thank you for joining us today. We will have this video posted on the Delaware Student Success website, under the webinars, and we will do our best to send it out via email to everybody that has registered.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you very much.